one crucial part is agriculture, and one thing you said you were particularly surprised by was how great a problem bovine flatulence is. Do you want to explain what that is and why it's a problem?
Yeah, so the animals that can eat grass have very unusual stomachs that have these bacteria that are methanogenic in there, and so they leak natural gas both out the front and the back. And so people have said, well, let's change the hay or throw some things in there. And nobody knows how to get rid of
no one knows how to get cows to stop farting.
Exactly, or burping. And so there is artificial meat, but that's at a very early stage. But that's another big source of greenhouse gas emission. So, I'm just trying to make sure that the people who acknowledge the problem, which I think is fantastic, that they understand the breadth of innovation required before you can get anywhere near to what we have to do, which is zero.
Bill Gates wants people to eat synthetic meat. Basically, he wants you to eat a 3D printed steak. Well, Bill Gates, you can eat a 3D printed.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this pretty fascinating clip in a rare moment of journalism from the BBC, right? In which this reporter is going to confront Bill Gates on his hypocrisy regarding climate change. Now, remember, Bill Gates is supposed to be the Jesus of climate, right? He's the Jesus of, vaccines, of malaria, a whole bunch of stuff that he really doesn't have any real expertise in. But for whatever reason, this guy is like the number one spokesperson for all these things that he does not have much expertise in. So this BBC reporter, again, is going to do some pretty good journalism here and ask Bill Gates to his face, confront him to his face about the hypocrisy of him running around trying to be climate Jesus, right? Telling the little guy what they can and can't do or how they should and shouldn't live, while also flying around in private jets and putting pollution in the atmosphere, having a much larger carbon footprint than the average person. Take a look.
What do you say to the charge that if you are a climate change campaigner, but you also travel around the world on a private jet, you're a hypocrite?
Well, I by the gold standard of funding Climeworks to do direct air capture that far exceeds my family's carbon footprint. And I spend billions of dollars on climate innovation. So, should I stay at home and not come to Kenya and learn about farming and malaria? Anyway, I'm comfortable with the idea that not only am I not part of the problem by paying for the offsets, but also through the billions that my Breakthrough Energy group is spending, that I'm part of the solution.
Wow. Incredible. He says, I'm not part of the problem, even though his carbon footprint is definitely more than the average American. Well, I spend billions of dollars on climate technology, right? I spend billions of dollars on carbon capture. So therefore, I'm resolved of all responsibility. I am not a part of the problem. I'm part of the solution. You are the problem, right? You meat eaters are the problem, right? The people who use plastic straws, right? Gas stoves. You are the problem, okay? Bill Gates. It just blows my mind how this guy, who not only uses, private jets, okay, which, disproportionately pollute more, emit more greenhouse gases than, commercial flights and stuff like that. He also uses yachts, right? Which also, pollute as well too. He does all this polluting, but he believes that everybody else should not follow his example and they should live a different way. They should lower their standard of living. Again, Democrats are coming out the gas stoves. Part of the reason is because of the climate, right? They don't want you to use a gas stove. They don't want you to use plastic straws, right? They don't want you to really fly, okay? They want you to take public transportation, okay? They don't want you to have gas-powered cars or anything like that. But Bill Gates can run around in a private jet. He can't take a commercial flight. What is stopping you from taking a commercial flight like the rest of us normies, Bill? Right? I don't think too many people care who you are. Okay, if I see Bill Gates in public, I'm not gonna fawn over him and say, "Oh my God, Bill," like no, right? I mean, I'm kind of like that in general with any celebrity that I see. I actually kind of adhere to the you don't want to meet, people you look up to or celebrities, because they'll always disappoint you, right? So, I have seen, celebrities in public or been in the same room with celebrities, and I try not to ever fanboy, right? I'm not the type of person that will fanboy over somebody in public, but that's another topic, another conversation. I'm just saying, why can't you fly commercial like everybody else? Right? You don't need to go to Kenya, okay, to tell them what they can and can't use and what they can and can't do, to learn more about. You don't need to do all that. You can fly a commercial flight just like everybody else. This guy literally just said that because he pays for carbon capture and because he invests in climate change technologies or whatever, right? Oh, yeah, it's totally fine for him to pollute as much as he wants. Again, that's just like me saying, well, I walk every single day to work in the grocery store. Okay, I don't drive. Therefore, I should just, be able to keep my lights on as much as I want. I should be able to just go, burn as many fossil fuels as I can at the end of the day because I don't drive to work or, I don't drive to the grocery store or whatever. Yeah, you don't have to take that private jet to Kenya, Bill. You don't have to. I mean, hell, we live in the 21st century. You can video chat. I'm pretty sure they got video chat in Kenya, right? You can have people over there learn all the stuff they need to learn, and then they can send the information back to you, and you can make whatever decision you want to make. But again, it's amazing because again, this guy who's made a career, out of investing, okay, mainly Microsoft, but he's an investor as well too. And it's not the little guy that is the problem when it comes to the alleged climate change. It's not the little guy, it's actually the big corporations. Right? Specifically China, okay? The number one polluter in the world is Chinese coal, right? That is literally the number one polluter in a whole bunch of other big mega corporations. And he's not out here lecturing China or bashing China for the amount of emissions that they contribute to the atmosphere and their role in climate change. No, he's actually doing the exact opposite. He's actually praising China.
I tend to see China's rise as a huge win for the world. I mean, that's 20% of humanity. They today match their portion of the global economy and their portion of the global population match exactly. Countries like Australia, U.S., we have per capita GDPs 5 times what the Chinese have. So we have a disproportionate share.
But again, people like him who are part of that, right? They're part of, the mega corporations. Okay, he benefits from that. He does more time lecturing other people about how they're supposed to live or trying to change how people are supposed to live their lives, what you can and can't do, rather than changing his own habits to reflect that, hey, I actually really believe in this, right? I actually believe that we should not be putting, these emissions into the atmosphere, and that each individual should do the best that they can to reduce their carbon footprint, including myself, including the rich billionaires, right? Because he's participating in activities that are totally unnecessary. It is totally unnecessary for you to fly a private jet. You can't lecture me on me having to change my habits and my lifestyle when you can't even change your habits and your lifestyle, right? Clearly, you don't care enough to inconvenience yourself to get on a commercial flight. You can fly first class. I'm just saying you can do that. I don't understand the need to take a private jet. Again, that's the thing that gets me about all these climate hypocrites. People like John Kerry as well, too.
On that issue, pollution, I understand that you came here with a private jet. Is that an environmental way to travel?
If you offset your carbon, it's the only choice for somebody like me who is traveling the world to win this battle. I negotiated the Paris Accords for the United States. I've been involved in this fight for years. I negotiated with President Xi to bring President Xi to the table so we could get Paris. And I believe the time it takes me to get somewhere, I can't sail across the ocean. I have to fly to meet with people and get things done. But what I'm doing almost full time is working to win the battle of climate change. And in the end, if I offset and contribute my life to do this, I'm not going to be put on the defensive.
That he goes to all these UN events, talk about climate change, and again, he's flying on a private jet. He's using a private jet. He's using private vehicles. He's taking oil and gas powered vehicles, right? Transportation. This man ain't selling across the Atlantic Ocean, right, to reduce emissions. No, he's flying private. Okay, he's putting more emissions into the atmosphere than everybody else, but yet he want to lecture everybody else on how they supposed to live their life. You peasants need to eat bugs and fake meat, and don't use plastic straws. Get rid of your gas stove, right? Take public transportation. Cut off your lights, right? That's what they tell you to do. But yet, when it comes to them, though, rules for thee, not for me. Again, this is typical liberal hypocrisy. It really is. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.